Hello, and welcome to our Sustainability Shorts series as part of Climate Week NYC, where we bring you leaders from across sectors to discuss getting it done ahead of Climate Week NYC. I'm so happy to be joined by CEO of Capgemini Invent and Capgemini Group Executive Board member, Cyril Garcia. Thank you so much for joining us, Cyril.
Hi, Angela. Thank you for welcoming me in this session. Thank you. And a pleasure to meet you.
Such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for making the time. So let's begin with our first question. Leadership on climate has changed so much in recent years, as you know, but we're still falling behind on targets. How do you think climate leaders need to change, and what should organizations be doing differently to demonstrate this?
That's the big and great question, Angela, because I think fundamentally climate leaders need to consider now that they're not alone anymore. And their responsibility is to create the ecosystem, the networks around them. So they were perceived in the past like pioneers, but now they need to act as a teams with people in each and every business working close to them. So we have implemented this, if I may say, doctrine in Capgemini with a network, with accelerators, but there's no one climate leader. So there may be some sponsors, but people are acting as teams with collective objectives to make it happen. That's the fundamental change that we see, by the way, not only at Capgemini but among our clients.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, another component I think you've talked a lot about is how data and analytics really power the net zero ambition of businesses. Can you speak a little bit to that as well?
Yes, that's another very important and technical question, because I'm sure, Angela, you have read a lot of point of views by the entire industry on the role of data, AI for climate change, on the know your current emissions, monitor them, and but I think fundamentally there are two things. First, we'll have to be very serious in the next months about our scope 3, and so data and AI will support this move. And the second point is circularity, because we are in a world where the raw some materials like lithium, cobalt, nickel will become more and more extremely scarce, and we need those resources to feed the energy transition. So data will help us to track the circularity of those very precious metals, namely.
No, absolutely. That couldn't be more critical. I mean, we can even see this year, right? I think 2022 has presented us with so many complex challenges, right? Whether it's food, energy, commodities, supply chains. I mean, we're looking at, many varied multi complex issues. So, how are you navigating these while keeping climate action a priority?
Uh, there are frankly, that's a year with a lot of threats and a lot of opportunities. So we found a way to accelerate our ESG policies in every dimension. To be very concrete, in some of our operation centers, we are now not only autonomous in terms of energy, but we are ready to send electricity to the grid thanks to the solar power plants that we have implemented. So that's very concrete, and I think this year for us will be a key year, a tipping point in terms of considering the entire in our scope of offerings, what we do for our clients, the entire planetary boundaries. So I think we have now the assets to build holistic approaches where it's not just about eco-design, it's not just about circularity, as I said, Angela, but it's about cope with the biodiversity, the use of water, the soil degradation. So that's really, I think 2022 for us is the year where we are now able to address all those dimensions. And again, I insist on that. It's not just about we need to go beyond carbon emissions. It's about planetary boundaries and address all the dimensions. So you see, 2022 in our history will be a tipping point from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean it's a I think a really important perspective to bring, especially to the conversation at Climate Week NYC. So thank you so much for bringing that element. I think it'll be critically important for us to be thinking of that holistically. Um, so, for everyone, please make sure to join
Thank
us
you.
at Climate Week NYC, September 19th through the 25th. Head to our website for more information. Cyril, thank you so much. It was lovely to chat with you. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you. And I will be there with you. Thank you, Angela.